With the recent news about the Season 1 updates coming to the game, I really feel like they're missing out on some really key opportunities to make the game so much better. But don't worry, next on.
I can fix it!
Firstly, let's talk mods. I absolutely hate the way they plan on updating the new mod system for Season 1. I think a much better way to go about it would just be to get rid of the symbols altogether, just not even have the symbols, and make it to where once you unlock a mod slot, any mod that you put in that slot is now cost less. You know what I mean? It takes half the capacity. Just get rid of the symbols. It would be a super easy fix that I feel like they could definitely implement before Season 1 comes out. I'm really worried that if they don't do this, man, this could be a huge killer to the game because it limits your ability to create different builds so badly. And even with the update, man, there's so many descendants, so many weapons, and the amount of time it would take to grind out every single different build for every single character is just bonkers. I feel like it's asking way too much of the community. Like I said, I feel like just get rid of the symbols, dumb it down, simplify it, make it to where you unlock a mod slot, and now you can put any mod in there. Just easy fix. Second, let's talk reactors. I absolutely hate the way they handle reactors in this game. I have been farming for the perfect reactor since the game came out and still have not been able to get it. I think the way they should handle it is the two little perks at the bottom. First off, they need to fix it to where every reactor has matching perks for that reactor. Like if it's an electric reactor, then you should get electric perks. It makes no sense getting fire perks on an electric reactor. They need to completely scrap all that. Secondly, I would make it to where you could actually re-roll reactors, just like you can weapons. So basically, the two skills down at the bottom of the reactor, just make it to where you could re-roll those and just try to get different, whatever rolls you want, instead of having to just farm and pray that by some miracle you'll get the perfect reactor that has the perfect weapon and the perfect perks. And it's too much. It's way too much. I think you should just be able to farm the reactor you want, re-roll the perks. Again, dumb it down, make it simple, make it easy. This would solve so many problems. Another thing I would do is I would make it to where like exotic reactors can only roll with the exotic perks and the purple perks. I would get rid of it to where you have these level 100 reactors and things like that rolling with blue perks. Again, something that makes no sense. I think that this whole system needs reworked, and it's something that would be really simple and easy to do. And again, components are kind of in that same boat. I wouldn't make it to where you can rework the mods on components. That might be a little too much. But I would probably make it to where the high tier components, the exotic components, things like that, aren't dropping with blue perks. And it would just make that grind feel way better. Lastly, I feel like we have to talk about the Colossus fights, man. I really don't know what they can do to address this issue. But the fact is, these Colossus fights are supposed to be farmable. I've only managed to beat Frostwalker a handful of times, and despite trying Gluttony probably well over 100 times, I still have yet to get a single clear on Gluttony. It is absolutely bonkers to me, and it's not a problem for me. I think the Gluttony boss fight is extremely simple, straightforward. I have no problem with survivability, DPS, all of that in the bag. It's just finding that right team. Now, I will admit, I haven't tried to LFG a team yet, because I have this thing where I'm like, man, I want to get my first clear on every boss, just matchmaking. That was my goal when I started the game out. I was like, look, I'm going to beat every single Colossus, just matchmaking. After that, maybe I'll start doing LFGs and things like that. So that's kind of a goal that I set for myself, and it's like, you're just beating your head against the wall. And also, I love the fact that this game has such straightforward, simple matchmaking. I don't want to have to go outside of the game and LFG a team, man. That's one of the things that I hate about Destiny 2. And I want it. And again, I don't know what you could do to fix this, because you need to make it challenging enough for the really good players, but you need to make it simple enough that they're farmable, because again, they're supposed to be farmable. These Colossus fights, you're supposed to be able to farm them. I can't even get a single clear. So I don't know. There has to be some sort of balancing issue there. I think they could lower the health of Gluttony and maybe the Frostwalker, and that would help a lot. Frostwalker's really not that bad, but maybe lowering the health, because I've come so close to beating Gluttony. Like, one time we just didn't have the DPS. We literally went the full length, the full 10 minutes, doing all the mechanics, getting 3 different damage phases, and just, man, like, probably needed 1 or 2 million more DPS just to finish him off. And then the other time we almost beat him, we had plenty of DPS, and nobody was doing the mechanics. You know, we only had 1 or 2 of us doing the mechanics. The other 2 people were focused purely on DPS, and we just wiped due to mechanics. And again, we were like maybe 1 or 2 million damage off. So, but it's so frustrating, man. And the fact that these are supposed to be farmable is just crazy to me. They really need to rework these. Are you fucking kidding? We didn't even start. We didn't even start. Lastly, we have to talk about farming. I know it's like beating a dead horse, but look, I have been farming for this Ultimate Ajax Stabilizer blueprint since the game came out. I've probably farmed over 150 of these, and it has not dropped yet. It's gotten to the point where I just gave up. I was just like, oh, I'm never going to get it. There's no point. And I just quit farming for it. I have every other piece. If you look, I have all the pieces I need. And like I said, I've probably farmed over 150 of these. That is insane. And so it forced me to give up on it. That is the ultimate game killer. If you have players just giving up on farming certain things in your game, eventually those players are going to quit playing the game. I'm sure that's a huge reason why a lot of players have already quit playing the game. I think their player base is down over 50%. People are just giving up. They're fed up. They're like, dude, this is insane amount of farming, and there needs to be some sort of bad luck protection. Like, if you have farmed this amorphous material 150 times, at that point, it should be like guaranteed that you have gotten everything in that amorphous material. You know what I mean? They need some sort of bad luck protection. Again, it's a super easy fix, and I don't want to see this game die is the only reason I'm making this video. And all of these fixes I feel like are pretty simple, and it's just things that could improve quality of life and make your player base much happier. But anyway, that's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I am the one and only Z. Bye-bye.